This week, I'm finally doing it. I'm making a hyper-realistic cake of a cake. Because over the past 5 years, thousands of you have asked me to make one. So I want to make this cake for all of you, for all my subscribers. And I want to make this cake to celebrate something really, really big. We just reached 4 million subscribers. This channel is run by 2 people, myself and my husband Dave. So the 2 of us are gonna celebrate 4 million subs by making and eating this cake. And then we're gonna take the rest of the day off. And that day off is in a day and a half. I only have a day and a half to make this cake happen. That's not a lot of time to make a hyper-realistic cake. My name is Natalie Sideserf, and I make cakes that don't look like cakes. Like this cake of a pear, and this cake of a t-shirt. And today, I'm gonna make a cake of a cake. Typically, I give myself 3 days to make a hyper-realistic cake. But today I'm cutting that time in half. I have 1.5 days to get this cake done. Otherwise, husband Dave and I won't be able to have a celebratory day off because we gotta get started on next week's cake. I gotta work fast. So I suppose the first thing that I need to figure out is,
what is a cake of a cake?
In my head, it's a slice of a cake that looks like one flavor on the outside, but is a completely different flavor on the inside. So that's what I'm gonna make. I want the outside to look like a typical delicious slice of chocolate cake. The kind of slice that you see at your local bakery. Now this cake is gonna be really fun, but I can't help but wanna add something. Something that'll surprise everybody. But what else can I add to this cake? I'm gonna go to the store to have a look around. I always find inspiration at the store. Have I ever mentioned that I really enjoy looking for cake inspiration at the store? First place I'm gonna go is the party aisle. They've got number candles. I didn't even think about adding candles to this cake. They don't have an M for million, but they do have a 4. So I'm looking around and I think I might be able to make an edible cake stand to place my cake of a cake on. I couldn't find a cake stand that would work, but I did find this candle holder. So I'm gonna do a little experiment, a cake experiment. I think I might be able to use this candle holder as the cake stand pedestal. I want this cake stand to be perfect, like machine made, so I'm making a food-safe mold of it. So I taped the candle holder to a wooden dowel, and I'm placing it in a foam board box, kinda like a pig on a spit. Then I microwave food-safe molding material until it's all liquid, and then I pour it in the box. Is it pretty?
No.
Will it do the job? Hopefully. I'm just making this up as I go. Now I've got to set this mold aside while it firms up. And while I wait, I have an idea. I was pretty bummed that there wasn't a letter M candle at the store. So I'm gonna make the candles on this cake edible too. I know, I'm pushing it. I don't have a lot of time to make this cake, but I really want an M candle. M for million. That's a big number. I'm proud of that number. I want an M candle. Plus, it's just gonna make the cake that much cooler. So I'm rolling out a slab of modeling chocolate, the thickness of the real candle, and I'm gonna hand cut a 4 and an M. Oh, I have to tell you guys, you have never seen this knife before because it's a very special knife. It's husband Dave's really fancy super sharp knife that he's very protective of. Rightfully so, because he got it as a groomsman's gift, so it's sentimental. I don't use it because when I'm making cakes, I'm not exactly careful with my tools. Knives, sculpting tools, brushes, I've been known to break them all. But while working on these candles, Dave knew that the sharper the knife, the better they would turn out. So he suggested I use it, and he was right. I mean, look at these chocolate candles. They're beauty. Cut through that modeling chocolate like butter. Thanks, Dave. Okay, the moment of truth. Let's see if this candlestick mold worked. If it didn't, I do not have a backup plan. And I already put so much time into it. I'd be really disappointed. And it looks like... Do you wear clothes or know someone who does? Well, get yourself some more by heading over to shop.sideserfcakes.com. That's where you can get some Sideserf Cake Studio clothes. We also have coffee mugs, stickers, beach towels, all kinds of stuff. I'll put a link below so you don't get lost on your way to the store. And now back to the cake. And it looks like it totally worked. It looks beautiful. For real, it's a really clean mold. It worked better than I thought it would. All right, now all I have to do is fill it with chocolate. I chose orange because I like the color, and I happen to have a lot of orange chocolate on hand. That's as good of a reason as any. So, I was so worked up, hoping that mold would work, that I just realized I didn't factor in the time it would take to go to the store. I am really behind on this cake. I've got to kick it into high gear, work faster, somehow. The day is almost over, and I'm not even halfway done. Now that my chocolate candles are dry, I'm gonna paint them, because that's what the real candle looks like, and I think it's gonna be cute. This takes a very steady hand. Painting straight lines is like really hard. This is a task where your paintbrush makes a big difference. A few years ago, I used to paint thin, fine lines with a small paintbrush that had very short bristles. I told myself,
This brush is fine. I don't need to go buy a new brush.
oh, how wrong I was. Because about a year ago, I randomly bought a thin liner brush with long bristles. And holy smokes, it really helped me out. My straight painted lines are much cleaner now. And it takes less time to paint things because I'm not constantly fixing my mistakes. Even with the help of my proper brush, I am not as far along on this cake as I had hoped to be at this point. Probably because I added quite a few things to this cake that I hadn't planned at the start. I am gonna finish the candles today, but that means tomorrow I still have to finish the cake of the cake, and the entire cake stand needs to be assembled. Well, I'm super tired and I'm slowing down, so I gotta go to bed. I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's gonna be a big, important day. I'm up! Day 2, let's go. I'm fresh and ready to work. And that's good, because I only have 4 hours to finish this cake. Ah, look how good this chocolate candlestick looks. Wait, what's happening? Looks like husband Dave brought me some celebratory items while at the store yesterday. Is this a clown hat?
They're party hats.
They didn't have any congratulations on 4 million subscribers hats?
They're all out.
I went through all kinds of ideas in my head of how I'd make the plate for the cake stand, but all of those ideas would take hours. I don't have hours. And then I saw this white bucket lid, and I thought, let's try it.
A few minutes later.
The chocolate is firm. All I gotta do is pop it out. Just pop it right out of there. It's sticking. Come on, I can feel it, it's gonna come out. But if I'm not gentle, it'll crack. Then I gotta start over. All right, come on. Yes, it released! Talk about high risk, high reward. I was legitimately worried that I would have to start all over again. And then the cake wouldn't be done on time. Using the bucket lid saved me time, and it looks just like a cake stand plate. This is a slice of cake that I bought at my local grocery store because I didn't want to ask husband Dave to bake a whole chocolate cake when all I need is a few thin slices. Did you guys think I was done with the cake of a cake?
No way.
It doesn't look like a slice of cake yet, but it's about to. I'm placing pieces of thin chocolate cake on the outside to give the illusion that this is a slice of chocolate cake. But as you saw earlier, it's actually vanilla cake on the inside with my signature green buttercream. You may have noticed my cake stand pedestal was only half. Well, I made another chocolate half, and I'm gonna seal the two together. But not until after I add some green buttercream in the center. I want it to be a fun green surprise. Hopefully that green spews out when I cut the cake in half. That would be so cool. I'm gonna cut the cake really soon, so watch for that. And subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. This cake is for you, my subscribers. To seal the two halves together, I filled a piping bag with orange chocolate, and I pipe it all along the edge. I know things are looking a little messy, but I'm gonna clean it up. I promise. My only worry right now is that this small border of chocolate might not be enough support to keep the two halves together. It could crack down that line if I'm not careful with it, so I'm just gonna have to be extremely careful and handle this thing gently. Look who it is! Husband Dave is back. Oh, and he brought my glasses. Oh, thank you. So nice. How do I look? The chocolate pedestal looks great by itself, but now it's time to attach the plate. This is a Frankenstein cake stand. It's built of parts from two different objects, neither of which are a cake stand, so I really hope the plate and pedestal look good together and pass as a cake stand. I have been really worried about this since I started this cake. Ugh, I'm so nervous. All right, here we go. Well, I think that looks pretty darn good. It's the perfect size for a small cake or just a slice. I'm even gonna add a little color by hand painting some stripes. But I gotta hurry because I am seriously running out of time. That cake plate took less time than I thought it would, but I still have to bring all these cake elements together. But I can't just throw it all together. I gotta make sure it looks good because so many people have wanted me to make this cake. I don't wanna let them down. It's finally time to put all the elements together. This is when I add all the final details and combine all the separate parts to make one glorious cake. I think those edible candles are the cherry on top. I really hope you guys like this one. And there you have it, a cake of a cake to celebrate 4 million subscribers. I hope you all like it. I made it for you. Thank you so much for subscribing. I love this cake because of what it represents, and I just think it's a really fun design. Definitely unique. And guess what? I finished it on time. Husband Dave and I are gonna take the day off, but first, we're gonna cut and eat this cake. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. I post a brand new cake every week. And if you like this video, let me know by liking this video. I'll see you next week for another cake.